And for the first time, the Pope is from the United States. Thanks for joining us first at 4. I'm Aaliyah Blackburn.
And I'm Rafael Sanchez, a native of Chicago, has been selected to lead the world's 1.4 billion Catholics around the world. With this election, he's the 267th Pope and the first American to ascend to this global role.
Today, the papal conclave selected Robert Francis Prevost after 2 days of voting. Prevost, who's 69, is taking the name Leo XIV. We're checking in now live with the Archdiocese at St. Peter and Paul Cathedral downtown as they address this major announcement.
WhatsApp notes from my missionary friends in Africa and in Germany and Italy, and just congratulating on our first American Pope. So it's a great pride.
What does it say that the Church has turned to a Pope so-called from a superpower nation?
I guess it's part of one of the reasons why I didn't see it coming. They've always said, they're called the rule of thumb was always because America was such a world power on that stage that we probably wouldn't see an American Pope. But as I was reading earlier today, there's a lot of other powers at play as well. And again, the Pope, the cardinals got together and identified what are the needs. What are the first thing they did over these 9 days as they mourned the death of the previous Pope, Pope Francis. They were also discerning what are the needs, what do we need to be focusing on, and then who had those gifts. And whether it was an American or African or French or Italian or Portuguese or whatever, they were looking for the person that had those particular gifts to meet those particular challenges at this particular time. And I think that's what they looked for regardless of what his nationality happened to be.
The Pope literally speaks the same language as President Trump. The Pope stands for looking after the downtrodden, reaching across all faiths and all borders. We know what President Trump has said he believes in, and through his practices, what he's demonstrated. Was the Church sending a political message in picking an American Pope who can almost literally stand toe-to-toe with President Trump?
Well, I wasn't in the room, so obviously I can't speak much more than anybody else here. None of us were in that conclave. I don't believe that it was that direct. They're not thinking about politics in that sense. They're thinking about here are we identify these are the key concerns. These are the key focus of issues we need to be focusing on. Who has those gifts and talents? And of course, the poor, the marginalized, which are going to be immigrants, refugees, are going to play into that. The homeless, anybody that the Church sees as needing our particular attention and our solidarity. Just like I said, he picked Pope Leo XIV as his name as Pope. Pope Leo XIII was concerned in his time about rights of workers and working conditions and the right for unionizing and making sure people were being treated fairly in that time. So as I said, I don't know that I don't think that they were thinking in terms of how we would do politics here. I think, again, there's only a handful of those 133 electors that are American popes. They're not. The rest of them aren't thinking about Pope Trump or anybody else. I mean, I'm sorry. That must have been from that picture got out. Most of those popes, most of those cardinals in there aren't thinking about President Trump or any other national figure in the United States. They're thinking about what are the needs of the world, for the world church. Because remember, the Pope serves is the shepherd for the Church Universal. For Catholics.
On a day that the world saw the white smoke and that the Catholic Church elected a new leader in a new Pope, you're hearing now from the Archbishop of the Archdiocese of Indianapolis. And that is Charles Thompson, who was selected by the late Pope, of course, Pope Francis, in his role. Mr. Thompson there, or Archbishop Thompson, leads 250,000 Catholics in central and southern Indiana, weighing in on the selection of the new Pope. We'll have much more of that, of course, coming up in a few moments on the news at 5.
And meanwhile,